After a long time, GlitchX has finally been released. If you don't know it or didn't watch it yet, it's basically an expo livestream hosted by Glitch Productions that features other indie creators and a bunch of other stuff. But in this video, I will only summarize the AMAs and the last announcement. So if you want to go and know what happened in the other parts, go watch GlitchX now. So, starting off with Liam's AMA, the creator of murder drones. First, the most important question to humanity. Why don't drones wear pants? We saw N wear pants in episode 3 and 4. Why he said they won't.
Pants. Everyone gets pants. Just kidding, that'll never happen. I'll die before they get pants.
Liam had to explain a lot for this one, because he betrayed his fans, the fans who always believed that the drones cannot wear pants. He basically said that the clothes' only role for the drones is to differentiate between them, so they only needed the bare minimum of clothing to achieve that goal. That's why they didn't have to wear pants. But turns out all of that was a trick by Liam to keep us on our toes, and the drones actually can wear pants. What the heck am I saying? Liam was initially afraid of the CGI bit of the animations, so he decided to make the characters robots so they become easier to animate, and also put them in a wasteland environment so they are easier to model and texture.
A way to purely make it easier on production was like, let's do robots set on a snowy planet because I think that's a little easier on like texturing.
Basically, Liam's fear of creating an over-detailed show was a significant benefit because this thing looks impressive. The initial design for the drones was more of a toys design, something like Toy Story. They were designed to be close to human hand size, but a bit bigger. But then the drones had to interact with humans, so they got scaled up significantly.
Yeah, they used to be like this big, right? Like I remember, if the worker drones were, you were gonna have like original human size.
But then it turned out they need to interact with people, so they were scaled up over time.
We see an insight of what episode 2 was gonna look like, and that was supposed to be a big part of it. It was supposed to be like a zombie invasion, but then Liam just threw the script away for some reason.
You wrote the whole script for it. Yeah. You wrote the whole thing.
It was a zombie invasion?
Yeah, and then you picked up the script and you're like, nah, I don't want it. And you just threw it out. You worked on that for so long, you just burnt the script. You're like,
The weapons that the murder drones use are created instantly depending on the situation, which is mostly because of the absolute solver inside of them.
How large is the range of weapons that the murder drones can have?
Yeah, I think it's kind of whatever they need. But yeah, the kind of idea is it's kind of like manufacturing those items as they need it per situation.
The Sentinel's design was supposed to be like floating orbs, something like Wheatley, because Liam didn't expect that team to pull off this smooth animation and model for them, but then they went with this Velociraptor design.
They were originally going to be like, oh, if we couldn't do dinosaurs, we'll just do floating orbs, I guess.
This is pretty crazy to animate. Like, I don't know if we can do, which are, not easy to animate for sure.
The names of the murder drones are basically composed of two segments. A letter, which is something like the series name, and a serial code, which is composed of random numbers. The serial name is like the model code, which means that there are multiple copies of each murder drone out there.
It's like,
so there's multiple ends out there, right?
Yes, so it'd be like, and
do they all look like this guy?
Similar. They might have different modifications or anything.
The bikes actually have a purpose. They are basically something like a cleanup crew to clean up the environment around them.
Yeah, I think like we have the weird little bug things, which I think the lore reason behind them is like they're kind of like a cleanup crew.
And finally, we get some teasers to the new episode of Murder Drones.
Yeah, well, so it turns out that was all a dream. They wake up, oh wow, that was crazy. And then they hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, looks promising. Nah, just kidding. Liam said that the next episode is gonna be very big and good, and also dropped that teaser.
All I know is I need you to figure things out together.
Yeah, they are dropping on 2024. Man, I can't wait for them. Now that concludes the Murder Drones part of the expo. Time for the amazing digital circus part, which actually features Michael Kovac, but I will mostly focus on Gooseworx for this summary. Goose literally said that she saw Liam going with the approach of making every character similar, and she wanted to do the exact opposite by making everyone unique.
With Murder Drones, you wanted to keep it like kind of every character has like the same base. For some reason, you said, oh yeah, Goose, you can do whatever you want. And I'm like, wow, I could make every character completely different.
Pomni was supposed to be a frog, literally, but then she scrapped that out and I am glad she did.
Wait, you drew a frog first for Pomni?
Yeah, it's in the sheet. There's this spindly frog thing.
Jax was inspired by the rabbit guy in Poppy the Performer.
Why rabbit for Jax though?
Because I'm a big fan of Poppy the Performer, and there's a psychopath rabbit character in that show, and I was like, I want one of those in my show.
Zubul was inspired by the 19s toys, and also Goose loves triangle heads for some reason.
Oh, them?
Zubul was one of the first characters I designed, actually, because I don't know, I like 90s toys.
You also like triangle heads.
Yes, definitely.
Kane, as said by Goose, isn't really a villain, but he is still an antagonist. He basically doesn't mean harm, but yet causes harm unintentionally because he doesn't understand human emotions and behavior that well.
Like, I wouldn't call Kane a villain, but I think I would call him an antagonist. He doesn't mean harm, but he causes harm.
One of the criticisms about the show is that Zubul didn't get that much of screen time in the pilot, and Goose said that she will not have that much in episode 2 either. But she said that in episode 3 we will get more of her hopefully.
Zubul doesn't get much screen time in episode 2, but don't worry, episode 3 is the Zubul episode.
The character's favorite food has been announced canonically for some reason. Jax loves spaghetti canonically, and Pomni likes salmon, and the rest didn't get their canon favorite food announced yet.
Oh yeah, no, Jax loves spaghetti.
Lots of spaghetti.
That's canon.
What does Pomni like?
Salmon.
Salmon, alright.
The characters in the digital circus can survive anything that is physical. They only feel pain. The only way they could die is by abstracting.
I mean, theoretically, they can physically survive anything. Like, she got really beat up in the pilot, and that kind of jumbled her code up a bit, made her a bit glitchy.
She felt
but,
the pain, right? It sounded
Yeah,
like she felt the pain, yeah.
But that could never kill her, unless
So
it
that means-
also breaks her mind, and then she abstracts,
Wait.
which
Zubul can swap out parts whenever she wants. Even on her door, the parts are different from what's in the pilot.
Zubul.
That's it.
It's really fun having a character where you can just swap out their body parts if you wanted to. You saw it on their door that they have like slightly different pieces on their door than they do in the episode. So it's like there's a lot of room to explore that and play around with that a little.
As Goose said, Jax decided his name, unlike Pomni which had a roulette wheel, to choose hers. He also chose Gangle's name for some reason. Ragatha was going to be named Emmy, but then that name was scrapped.
Jax definitely chose his name. I like to imagine that Jax also chose Gangle's name. Ragatha was named Emmy, but then I thought Ragatha was better.
Now here's one for you weird Rule 34 psychopaths. The clothes of the characters are part of their skin. Even listen.
They can't change their clothes, but Kane can change their clothes. It is part of their skin.
Okay.
Kaufman was supposed to be a part of the cast, but Goose thought that there was too many characters, so she decided to sacrifice him, which is actually a pretty good choice to showcase how dangerous the abstraction could be.
Kaufmo, kind of. He was gonna be part of the main cast. But then I developed Jax, and I was like, okay, this is too many characters. Let's sacrifice this guy.
Now that concludes it for the AMAs. Thanks for watching and see you later.